States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. The meeting of the Board of Fire Commissioners of District 3, 138, Savannah Avenue, Somerset, New Jersey, is called to order under Chapter 231 and the laws of 1975, with notices posted in 2024 Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and on the bulletin board as each fire company and township clerk is presented by law. All pages and cell phones must be turned off, do not vibrate until this meeting is adjourned. Okay, we have roll call.
Commissioner Covetti? Here. Commissioner Reed? Here. Commissioner Natal? Here. Commissioner Braxton? Here. And Chairman Middleton?
Here. Okay, we're gonna move the agenda a little bit out of order right now. What we would like to do is go ahead and appoint the new attorney, elect for our, to provide, for the district. So can we have a motion?
Make a motion to appoint a new attorney.
Greg Pasquale from Dollar and Dollar.
Greg Pasquale from Dollar and Dollar.
Do we have a second?
Hold on,
We can take notes if you want. We have a second, we have a motion on the floor. Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Covetti? Yes. Commissioner Reed?
Yes.
Commissioner Natal? Yes. Commissioner Braxton?
Yes.
Chairman Middleton?
Yes. Okay, sir. Come on up. All right, let's see. And I hate to do this, guys, because this has been going on for a while, especially for the older members. We might have to go in the back. But I wanna, we need to go into executive session for about 10 to 15 minutes to bring the new attorney up to speed about the contracts. So we need a motion to go into executive session for that.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session at 7:02 p.m.
Do we have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. We're gonna go into executive session because we had this ongoing thing with this contract, so we need to bring the new attorney up to speed on what's going on. I apologize that you guys came in here and sat down, but we're gonna need the room, unless you guys wanna go in the back.
I think it's easier for her
It's 4 o'clock, so.
Back. Yeah, hold you back. This way for her. Elderly residents, they don't have to. Alright, so we need a motion to go back into the regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to go back into the regular meeting at 7:22.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so can we now have a motion for the extension?
Make a motion to extend the contract, 2023 contract, right? For another 30 days to allow our attorney to get up to speed.
30 days to leave in September.
September 30th. By next week.
Yeah, we'll extend it to, yeah.
Okay. Extend it to September 30th.
Do we have a second?
A little bit.
Second. All in favor? Aye. So, okay.
The lady asked if you could speak up, she couldn't hear you.
She couldn't hear what you said.
We extended the contract another 30 days to September the 30th. So this way we're giving the new attorney an opportunity to speak with their attorney to try and figure out a way of getting through this contract situation. So that's what we were discussing in the back. So there is a new extension on that. We were gonna save it for unfinished business because that was the contract was under. But since you guys want to know, we'll just let you know in advance. So when we get to unfinished business, I'll just bring it up again, but you already know in advance, the contract has been extended. So the attorney will have an opportunity to speak with their attorney.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. Moving on, we have, approval of minutes, there were none. Communications. That'll be you,
We received a notice from ADT Commercial, in reference to a price increase, and it's in everyone's packet. The increase is, they're increasing it by $9.91 per month. Oh, they didn't put that there. We also received a letter from the Franklin Chamber of Commerce about the firehouse contract. And that was through the president of the Chamber of Commerce. And we also received a notice from the NCFA about some free classes.
Miss County Fire Academy.
The
Okay.
fire science technology,
Okay.
and it had states there.
All right. Fire chief's report. Community.
Received a email today from Craig Miller in reference to an August 20th Zoom meeting for the annual refresher. We have one firefighter going to fire school. We have received word on Saturday that the new engine 1 is starting to be built, and the problems with the ladder's exhaust system was taken care of, and the other problems on the truck. And that's all I have.
Okay. That's it? Thank you. Chief Dan, Franklin.
Yeah, so we have two guys starting firefighter 1 next week. They'll be going to Somerset County Fire Academy. This is for the maintenance commissioners, I guess. I got a letter from the gear cleaning company today. They did all the gear last year in August. They want to know if we're going to keep it on a yearly cycle to come in and decontaminate all the turnout gear. So I don't know. We've been doing it the last 2 years. This would be the 3rd year in a row. So whoever I need to forward that email to, I'll do that. And then you could set it up with them.
If you
Also,
don't mind, just do me a favor and forward that to the clerk, please, and then the clerk can pass it to
Okay.
whoever else.
that's fine. Also, it's my understanding, and I appreciate Commissioner Nattell going out of her way to meet with Chief Inzano on my complaints that the fire company lodged about policy violations. They were district policies that were violated. They were not complaints because somebody drove over somebody's front lawn or an incident at the fire scene. So those policy violations are directly to be handled by the policy and procedure commissioners, and both of them actually have what the punishment is with those complaints. So those need to be addressed. It's going on 4 months now, and I don't know what's going on, like how we can keep pushing this stuff along and not looking at it. It's very time consuming to write the letters and try and work things out, and then it just gets thrown on the back burner. So it's clearly in there, if the driver drives the fire truck to a call without an engine on the road, what the punishment is for the first time and what the punishment is for the second time. I OPA requested the reports, and every active driver in the fire district signed the letter. It also states in the driver policy that community fire company goes by with their new contract. If you do not have firefighter 1, you cannot operate a District 3 vehicle, lights and sirens, in an emergency response mode if you do not have firefighter 1. So I don't know if you were able to find that or not. I know, Janet, you were looking for that. I don't know if you were able to find it or not.
I did not, Chief.
Okay.
I did speak to one of the other commissioners because I was trying to find out that information for you, but I did not find it. So now with your attorney, I'm gonna sit so we can go back and try to find some
Yeah,
of those
I
things.
I have it
You
from
have
when it was
them?
done, so I'll get you a copy.
Okay,
Okay?
that works, cause
Thank you.
I went
Yeah.
back into my book and that book is so thick, it
No,
took
I
forever. couldn't
understand,
find
and
it.
like I said, I appreciate you and Fatima doing it, but, the other thing is,
And over here.
with our extension being extended another 30 days till September 30th, can we have our fees for September?
Yes, that's not an issue.
Okay.
We're supposed to mention that as well.
Thank you. So with that being said, I'd like to know if the board is gonna reintroduce looking into replacing Squad 27 with a bond.
No, we'll talk about that. So as of right now, we got the new attorney and stuff, so we'll take it what you asked. We'll discuss it.
Every month it goes up $100,000.
Franklin County on fire, man. Franklin, what got? Fire alarm number 118, Lindsay Court, Colorado.
So the next question is, for the month of July, Chairman Middleton, you missed 2 meetings and you didn't handle any of the things for the policy committee. Did you take full pay for the month of July?
Chief, I don't understand what does that have to do with your fire department report.
It's my report. I'm allowed to
That's
ask
not a
whatever I
report.
want in my report.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Answer the
not how it
question.
works. That's
Answer the
not how it
question.
works. I'm an elected official, chief. I get paid regardless.
You get paid to do a job.
But we're not
So-
gonna have that either,
Okay.
okay?
So back to policies and procedures. We'll go to policy 2006-001. That's the anti-harassment policy.
This is supposed to be a report.
It is my report.
No, it's not.
Who's the lawyer, him or you? Did you even YouTube us before you came here tonight?
I did a big mistake,
I-
but
Alright, well, whatever. I'll let everybody else handle it.
he's got a nice head of hair, he's not gonna have that much longer.
I'll let everybody
So,
else.
Before we get into this is not gonna be like the last time. We're not gonna take the abuse.
Okay.
You were
We're not
here
gonna
last
take
time.
all of the nonsense in the mouth, okay?
No problem.
You're only gonna be told once, if not, you're gonna be escorted out by the police. We're not gonna have this.
I'm saying,
We're not gonna get disrespected here,
nobody disrespect.
alright? Just so you know.
Good job.
So do you know, so you all know what that policy is?
Can you say that code again, Chief?
It's 2006-001. It was adopted in 2006, 001 was the first policy that was approved at the beginning of the year. It's about sexual harassment in the workplace and stuff like that. I think we really need to have another class on this to bring in somebody to do it. And I would make sure that the commissioners, whether you're an elected official or not, take the class because it needs to be done. So, I don't know who you want to hire, who you want to get to hire, but this was drawn up by the attorney in 2006, and it's not followed at all. So, that's all I have for now.
Alright, thank you. Discussion of questionable bills. Nobody has any?
I didn't see any.
Presentation of bills?
Bills are to be paid in the amount of $162,780.67.
I have a motion for bills to be paid.
I make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Alright.
Alright. Maintenance. Commissioner Reba Ferretti? Nothing?
Well, the
Commissioner Ferretti?
one truck is still being, you have something out, or was out?
The Insta-Change is still waiting to be replaced, and we got a deck gun donated from another fire company for the SWAT. So we saved $25,000 putting it into a truck that we should be replacing.
And the instant chains are ordered or no?
Yes.
He got them from somebody.
Yep.
Equipment. Oh, sorry about that. Forgot to mark it up. Training?
Chief did mention the refresher makeup course, which you guys have scheduled with Craig. He also wants to schedule 2 live birds. He'll be reaching out to you, to both of you chiefs, in the near future to schedule those. Do you guys opposed to that? Are you guys okay?
That's fine.
Okay, so I'll let him know to reach out to you guys to do that. That's all for training.
Insurance,
I don't have anything.
for Commissioner Ferretti? Anything on insurance?
No.
Fire prevention, we did speak about the radio system that's being upgraded. Pretty much that's everything that's going on now in town is getting these radios and stuff upgraded. So if you guys need your radios, make sure you contact us or get them to your chiefs. Chiefs take responsibility for them and get them up the street so they can be reprogrammed or you're gonna be locked out. Safety committee,
Besides what we just discussed with Chief Krasinski, I don't have anything. I have to just keep going, getting the information that I need from that.
okay.
So,
CAD,
everything is up to date.
awards,
Nothing right now.
bylaws. Progress.
In progress, yeah. No.
LoSAP,
I have nothing.
junior membership,
So,
Nothing right now.
policies and procedures, progressing.
Well, since Chief mentioned those policies, I'll be looking to them with safety committee now.
Okay.
So, or we can look into them because we're both on it now.
Okay.
Can't have it.
Unfinished business, says the firefighter still, does not have gear. So I guess
now, is
we'll,
that new firefighters? Or the ones that are already?
well, we could talk about that in executive session, you know? Or do we know who it is? Do you know who it is?
What?
Firefighter without gear? No?
Oh, yeah, oh, sorry, that's mine.
We don't wanna say the name.
This actually for Vinny. Why is it that Herman is not being given his gear?
We said no names.
Huh? Well, alright, they're both here.
We don't know who it is.
But you gotta talk about that in executive session. That's personal business.
Okay. Then I have nothing.
New business, the resolution for appointing the attorney. Now therefore be it resolved by the
Oh.
Commissioners of Fire District 3 in the Township of Franklin County of Somerset, State of New Jersey as follows. Jala & Jala LLC is hereby appointed as the attorney for the board to serve a term of 1 year until successor is appointed at a reorganization meeting of the board following the annual election. And that's resolution 2024-10. Agreement for professional services. Whereas the first Fire District 3 requires the service of Township of Franklin, Somerset County of District 3 Legal Services. Whereas the Fire District 3 passed a resolution appointing Gregory B. Pasquale as our new attorney. Okay. Treasurer's report.
We have budgeted $2,329,888. We've spent $895,360.04. We have encumbered $76,480.09, leaving a balance of $1,589,346.87. We have a dedicated truck reserve for $17,517.01. And a dedicated training penalty account at $3,851. Our LoSAP fund is $121,067.28. And we have funds set aside to cover future health benefits, cost of health benefits for retired employees at $163,199.88.
Can I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report, please?
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I Can you go back to me when you get a chance? I got one thing.
Is it under your,
It would be under my report, yeah.
alright, right now, can we get a, do you wanna go now?
No, you can, what else you have to do? Keep going, just come back to me.
Can we get a motion to open public portion, please?
I make a motion to open for public portion at 7:44 p.m.
I second.
All in favor?
And
The mayor would like to go first, he has to go to a meeting.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor.
Bill Kramer, 475 Demont Lane. I don't know if you require that. I'd like to say hello to Mr. Colligan, Assemblyman Danielson, Councilman Wright. They thought this was important enough to come here. I don't know that they're going to agree with what I say, but I'm glad to see them here. I've been the mayor for 8.5 years. In that time, I missed one meeting, and that meeting was, I missed that meeting because I was in Red Bank deciding whether to put my dog to sleep or not. But I'm missing a meeting now, right now, because this is important. I'm not on either side of this contract dispute. I have no dog in the race. All I care about, the side that I'm on, is the side of the people. That they don't lose fire coverage. That's not just 30,000 people of the district, but the people of all of Franklin and all of the neighboring towns. I am told that the system, which is dependent on volunteers, cannot take the stress of losing a company, especially a company that has the performance that East Franklin does. So that is just not acceptable. In my mind, you have 3 choices, and I congratulate you today for extending the time limit. That's why I was here today. That's why I thought it was so important, is because I thought we were up against that the August 31st time limit. But there's 3 choices. You can solve this quickly between the sides of the disagreement. You might even be able to do that tonight if you really put your mind to it. If you can't solve it, go to an arbitrator. And I've talked to you, and I've sent information to others about a judge, a retired judge, who firm has represented fire districts, so he knows the countryside, he knows what he's dealing with, and he's a retired judge, so I think he can be fair. If you go to an arbitrator, you'll get it figured out in a matter of a few days. Or continue the contract until you come to a resolution. We go 3 years before we sign a contract with our police department sometimes. We just continue on the old contract until we come to a resolution. It's just not acceptable to allow a fire company to be shut down. Public safety comes above all else. And I have to pledge to Franklin that if necessary, I will recommend to the rest of council and to the township manager that we use every legal tool in our toolbox to ensure that the fire coverage of Franklin Township is not disrupted. Unless you have something for me, I'm now going to run off to my council meeting.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
He's my ride, can I go?
Carlos,
Can I go with him?
Right, 415 Brunswick Street to the middle school for the dumpster fire, formation of fireworks.
Be careful.
County, we're making a push on the dumpster fire.
My name is Carl Wright, and today I'm not the 4th Ward Councilman.
I'm just called right because I live here. Community, East Franklin, they cover my house. So that is why I'm here. Whether or not you take the mayor's suggestion, a mediator, or you solve it yourselves, somewhere along the line, something has to be done. And it's not me against you, or me against you, or me against you. It's just as a citizen, this is what I'm talking about. As the mayor stated, that toolbox has a lot of tools. So it doesn't work just for them. It works for you too. I mean, somebody's got to give a part of the bone here, and somebody has to give a part of that bone. In Irvington, where I have a funeral home, it's a big difference than down here. Even though it's city-owned, there are things that everybody has to do. Everybody. And unless you're willing to follow and say, hey, I might be volunteer, but let's follow the big city. Because if they can do it, we can do it. And by the way, I live here. As I said, I pay taxes. I pay for a lot of stuff down here. Okay? So I think I do have a bone in this fight. So just want to let you know that sooner or later, hopefully sooner, y'all get things settled. I will be back every fire meeting. That's my whole, I'll be here. And like anything else, if it don't look like it's going right, I'm gonna tell. And everybody's gonna come down here for our little meeting here to find out what happens.
You're gonna need a bigger place.
Okay? So, mayor's my ride, so I gotta go. Yeah, that's mine. I didn't do it. Excuse me. Y'all can have my seatbelt if you want.
Hi, Bonnie Sauvigny. I live off of Renfro Road, Somerset. And I've been a resident in Franklin Township for over 70 years. I know I look younger, but at any rate, this is my second time coming. And I have contacted people on the state level as well as local. I'm glad to see that you've at least extended it, but I'd like to see it resolved. And I'd like to see it resolved on the, just as the mayor said, for the safety of the people. That becomes paramount above any egos, above any other issues you may have. Paramount, 30,000 lives are at stake, and it's important that you get this settled. I hope you hear me this time, because I was here last time.
Yes.
And said I would come again, and I will, just like the other gentleman said. I will be here, I'll be the dog on your back until you get this settled. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Pat Colligan. I'm representing PBA 154, which I proudly served with Franklin Township Police Department for 31 years, 495 Demont Lane in Somerset. I'm really, I followed this case from the beginning because I dedicated my life to Franklin, again, for 31 years. I'm stunned that we are having this conversation months later. And I'm going to be a little bit more blunt than the mayor. This is not a dictatorship, okay? There's something, as your counselor will suggest, there's negotiations. And when you stand firm and you don't want to negotiate, nothing happens. And here we are. This should be an empty room. There should be you folks and a couple other people and a couple chiefs. And he'd attest to that. These fire district meetings should be empty until the voting comes. And I implore your new counselor to do a little research here, talk to the prior council, because he left because they didn't take very good advice. You're on tape and I know I'm not supposed to direct, but you're on tape saying because he will win. You're on tape admitting that this is an ego trip and nothing more. And this room is full of people who see through the charade of the chairman. Earlier today in a Facebook post, I called the rest of the board lemmings because myth has it that lemmings will jump off a cliff and commit mass suicide to follow their leader. I don't understand why the rest of you, especially you, Mr. Reed, who served as a law enforcement officer as long as you did, can't make up your own minds and follow some horrific advice. Janet, I'd like to remind you, especially since I have no idea where you're getting your advice from, but I can only guess. I just want to quote the law on Oprah. A public official, officer, employee, or custodian who knowingly and willfully violates Oprah and is found to have unreasonably denied access under the totality of circumstances shall be subject to a civil penalty, personal, correct, counselor? Personal civil penalty, it happened right next door at Southbound Brook, of $1,000 for an initial violation, $2,500 for a second violation, and $5,000 for a third violation. The fine is imposed upon the official and not the agency. The Franklin Reporter filed an Oprah request, a very reasonable Oprah request. It was denied. I will be filing the exact same Oprah request to get the second fine if you continue to take horrific advice from somebody here at the dais. You're putting the residents, as the mayor said, in grave danger because of somebody's personal vendetta against a chief and against a fire department, period. I've been a detective for 32 years. I can see through this like a pane of glass. Not only the residents, every one of my officers is going to be responding to a call in this district with less than half of the firefighters are in grave danger. And that's what I'm here for tonight. The taxpayers, the finances, which is stunning, and the safety of the residents. Good luck, Counselor.
Hi, my name is Christine Van Beveren, 14 Hadler Drive. My husband Todd and I have lived here for 20 years. We have 4 children. Besides Santa visiting our street on the back of a fire truck year after year, we have also had East Franklin Fire Department come to our home on several emergency occasions. One of these times was when a light caught on fire in our ceiling. Luckily, we were home to call 911, but it was not luck that kept our home safe. It was resources, it was quick response time, and it was having the fire department ready and available. It was not luck. We will remain forever grateful for the times that we needed help, and these men and women came quite literally to our rescue. I have always been very proud to live here in a place of diversity, race, religion, and economic. We have always felt this was a good place to raise our children, but I cannot understand this decision that is being made that will jeopardize the safety and security of our community. It seems a case where administrators have made a decision that shows little regard for the people who live here, including our children.
Yep, is Teddy out there? Teddy?
Good evening, James Baldwin, 73 Rodney Avenue. I think communication on this whole issue is unacceptable, in my opinion. I don't know what efforts were made to notify the local residents about the shutdown of a valued community resource, but I actively vote in the local elections, consider myself an informed citizen. Whatever was done wasn't enough, because it took one of their guys coming door to door for me to see this. I came right over. How can you reassure us that we don't fall in a coverage dead zone and there won't be any confusion on who's going to respond to our emergency? It's also a community safety issue. There's no doubt in my mind that there's less crime in my immediate area because of their presence. The playground and park right next to it is safer and cleaner because of their presence. They're not just protecting my home and my neighborhood, but they also are protecting my property value. My wife and I don't have any kids yet, at least. So as a taxpayer, I pay for all kinds of services that my family and I don't utilize. This is one that has a tangible benefit for us and improves the quality of my daily life. I can promise you if that station shuts down, my neighbors and I will make the rest of your term harder, and we're coming for your seats next time. Thank you.
My name is Abdul Gabisi. I've lived in this neighborhood. I'm the county committee member for Franklin Township, so I'm very familiar with the mayor. We have meetings together and the other council people. What I just want to say is just to reiterate that I was here the last meeting and it was well packed, but from a technical standpoint, a lot of issues were well expounded, and I saw seasoned commissioners from other townships. So they explained fully the gravity of what it entails. So I don't want to continue reiterating these issues, but I just want to take a trip back that 20 years ago I used to stay with my sister in 165 Minetto Road, and at that time it was a dead end before they make this new council flat. So the population has evolved, and his daughter also just that was a kid bought a house in Lewis Street. So, and we are this is a cross section of the Sierra Leone community. Like the previous speaker said, this is a town of diversity. I love America because of the inclusion and what it stands for. So this is the dream we go by. I don't want to, like the previous other people said, that you don't want to hit the nail on the head, but let's do things from an amicable point of view. We are all one and the same people. I see you like my brother, one way or the other. So, and I see Fatima, that's the name of my sister. So this is what I see, and we are not like fighting, but to every give and take, like Carl just said, let us work, and believe me, if we work in unison, we have a legal expert here. Yeah, and the previous other legal speakers, the LNC, the Jalos, they're my cousins. So I'm familiar with some of the semantics. So this arrangement. So please, I'm just kindly asking, it's just an appeal. This is our churchman and overseer of a big church here in Somerset County. So we have this type of people here. Let's have a good arbitration. I just go by what the Mayor Kramer just said. Thank you.
Hello, Anthony Pettori, 26 Connolly Road. I've come to the last two meetings, and it's the middle of August at this point, and there's one thing that, we're talking about community, we're talking about coverage of everything. What I think a lot of people are failing to forget is school year starting in a couple weeks. There are 4 elementary schools and 1 middle school that cover this district. My daughter goes to one of those schools, and I can tell you right now that if East Franklin goes down, the community is going to be put into a bind that if one of those schools goes up, God forbid something happens and something else happens in the district, which one's going to respond first? And I can tell you right now that from my experience dealing with PTO parents, just because I go to the PTO meetings, if they find out that East Franklin's going to shut down and the possibility that coverage is not going to be covered for those four elementary schools and the middle school, there's going to be an issue. And I can't speak for everybody else here, but I can tell you right now, I would have an issue, and I would grassroot it to pull as many people out to get somebody in here that's going to resolve this stuff a lot quicker. And I can tell you right now, some of the people I deal with at my daughter's elementary school are not fun to deal with, and I just roll my eyes all the time because it's the same thing over and over again. So if you're going to wait until the end of September to resolve this contract, I guarantee you this room's not just going to, there's not going to be any firemen in here anymore. It's going to be residents of the district that are going to show up, and you probably will have a bigger turnout in February for the election for whoever's up, whoever spot is, and whoever's running. Because at this point, I don't know what else could happen, and at this point, anybody will take a blunt. We'll just take a dart at this point, just throw it at the dartboard and see what it lands on. But I really do implore you that this has got to get resolved before the school year starts, because it's not going to be good either way for anybody, especially if the school district, families of the school district find out that there is not going to be the coverage that's needed. Thank you.
What? No, I was gonna go.
Theodore Richardson, 9 Carroll Court, Somerset, New Jersey. A couple months back, a letter was written to the Board of Fire Commissioners imploring the bonding of a fire truck. Obviously, we're now in August. This was back in May. Nothing has happened. We haven't moved on it. Prices have gone up. And then now I've heard through the grapevine that a 1987 International, which was sold back in 2006, is now back in the possession of a firehouse, and they want to put it under insurance and have it maintenance for the fire district. So why is it that we're going to bring in a almost 40-year-old truck when past practices here have been 20 years, we replace a truck. It's been going like that for many, many years now. Community's got them, East Franklin's got them. Now we're going to bring in a 40-year-old truck and have to completely retrofit it because it was an electrician's vehicle. And now we're going to have to put lights back on it and put insurance on it and get it emissions tested and get the engine repaired and get the transmission repaired for something that's 40 years old. When now we're almost at $2 million because we've sat on our hands and not moved on bonding a vehicle. I think this is downright out of control. You guys got to get your heads on straight, because this is just, you're not thinking right, and it doesn't matter. Thank you.
Chief Dan Krasinski, East Franklin Fire Department, Somerset, New Jersey. So for the people that didn't receive a letter, so you do know that myself and ex-Chief Alan Latangio sat down with Commissioner Nattell and Commissioner Braxton for almost 2 hours and went over stuff in the contract, what was in the contract, what we thought would be something to work out, change things, wording, stuff like that. Alan and I left. We thought we were in a good place. About a week later, I got a text message from Commissioner Nattell to reach out to Commissioner Reed, and that there would be no special meeting that we were promised, because we were supposed to have a meeting within 2 weeks, so that's why Janet was able to get us in. There would be no meeting within 2 weeks, and c'est la vie. So what I did find out was interesting is that last month, our July meeting, special meeting, the chairman couldn't make it. The next night, the chairman couldn't make the regular commissioners meeting. He took a night off to stay home and have ice cream. And then the Thursday night was the Franklin Township Board of Fire Prevention meeting, where he stood up and spoke for 15 minutes about how you were not going to back down and you were shutting this fire company down. And you were not backing off. We have a copy of the minutes. And Mr. Chairman, you're against me. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a deal. You resign, and I'll resign right now. No? You don't want to do that? You don't want to do that? Because you think you can get rid of me. You're not. I'm going to guarantee you that you're going to be gone before me. Okay?
In February, you look for election. Yeah, you're up.
I'm not even worried about elections. Okay? This whole policy thing is the reason East Franklin didn't sign the contract, right? Right. That's my biggest stick, right? You're the violator of the policy. You, Mr. Sexual Harassment in the Workplace. Okay? And you know what? You wrote the policies, you should abide by them. And that's why I won't sign the contract with you. Because you're Dr. Jekyll, you're Mr. Hyde. Been here a long time with you. I know how you roll, you're shaking your head, you know I'm not lying. You know that the same night everybody on the town council, the mayor, and everybody else got that letter that was submitted to the town council, Everybody at my firehouse got it too in an email. We all got it. We all know what's going on. Everybody knows. Vinny's daughter knows. She works in the town hall. They all know. Everybody knows. Okay? What you did is wrong. What you talked about my daughters 2 meetings ago and about who people hang out with. You don't get it. You don't get it. You've created your own pattern. And you know what? We're not going to stop. These people are not going to stop. Did you get a copy of the letter? I'm sure somebody sent you a picture of it last night, right? Why don't you tell everybody what you said? Tell everybody what you said. You're an elected official. Tell everybody what you said. Because you can't deny it, can you? Can you deny it? You're not going to answer me?
No, this is not a question.
Okay, so we won't deny it,
We're just
but I'll tell you
listening
what
to
we
you
said.
said.
I'll tell you what we said. Don't make me have to take my belt off and put you over my knee. That's what you said. That's what you said. Would you like someone to say that to your wife? Or your daughter? Or your granddaughter? You don't answer me. No, because you never answer anybody.
Howard?
Yeah. There you go. There's a resident speaking. I'm done. Well, I'll bring back to my chief's report, which is said I can come back. So we open requested, because we're playing tit for tat with community about open requesting videos and cameras out of fire trucks, because they're one guy got nothing better to do. So you know, since May of last year, camera 25 does not work in car 25. There's absolutely nothing on it. Good job, Verizon. Engine 253 doesn't record for the first 7 minutes it's on the road, and engine 1 doesn't record. The camera in ladder 27 works. The camera in squad 27 needs a new ID card because it still has all the traffic from last year because the card can't keep overwriting itself. So if one of the commissioners could please get a new SIM card to give to Chantel so we can get up-to-date video footage if we need it. And our other cameras work. So your Verizon system sucks too.
Why isn't it a consumable every 6 months? We just get new parts. Anyone else?
I make a motion to close public portion at 8:11 p.m.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Date and time and place of next meeting will be Tuesday, September 10th, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the district office. We have a motion?
September 10th,
Yes, that's second.
to end the meeting at 8:11.
You said you were reminded of something. Do we have a second?
You won't be here.
I second the meeting.
Thank you.